Tonight, learning from tragedy. The church bells in Uvalde rang out today in honor of the precious lives lost and the injured who live with the enduring pain of the shooting that happened 1 year ago. We're there as a community heals in more ways than one. Plus,
if you looked at me, you probably thought I went to war. There's people on Facebook, they're like, how come the other two teachers died? They were defending their students. Mr. Reyes must have not been, protecting his kids.
we spend a year chronicling the journey of the sole teacher in that Uvalde class who survived, his journey to recovery and turning tragedy into activism. And
you're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
She wanted to be remembered as the queen of rock and roll. Tonight, we remember one of the greatest music icons in generations, Tina Turner. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. It is a night of remembrance, honoring the lives lost in Uvalde 1 year ago, and also the incredible life lived by icon Tina Turner. But we also follow many more stories tonight, including the 2024 campaign now officially includes Ron DeSantis, how the Florida governor made his formal entry into the race in an unconventional way. Plus, the typhoon bringing destructive winds and a life-threatening storm surge to Guam. And the dancers bringing South Asian heritage to the American stage as we mark AANHPI month. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and a lot more for us tonight. But we do begin with the passing of Tina Turner, the queen of rock and roll. Turner's publicist announced her death this afternoon, saying, "Today we say goodbye to a dear friend who leaves us all her greatest work, her music." Known for her magical voice and hits like What's Love Got to Do with It, Rolling Stone once named her one of the greatest singers of all time. Turner escaped an abusive marriage and remade herself as a solo artist, a figure of power and strength and a trailblazer for so many. She was inducted as a solo artist in the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class. And just last month, Turner said she wanted to be remembered as a woman who showed other women it's okay to strive for success on their own terms. World News Tonight anchor David Muir leads us off tonight with more on her life and legacy.
Tina Turner was a legend.
We'll keep on turning, turning, round and keep on burning, burning, rolling on the river.
Her story defined strength and bravery. The little girl born Anna Mae Bullock in Brownsville, Tennessee.
I'm a girl from a cotton field that pulled myself above what was not taught to me.
She was the daughter of sharecroppers, abandoned by her parents when she was young. Her mother would come in and out of her life. While still in high school in East St. Louis, Illinois in the late 1950s, she saw Ike Turner perform. She was just 17 at the time, and she asked if she could sing a song at intermission. She was magnetic. They could all see it, including Ike.
I was young, naive, just a country girl, and everything just opened up to me.
It was Ike's band, but Tina was the shining star.
He would give her the name Tina, and she would become Tina Turner.
Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day.
Her version of Proud Mary would give Ike and Tina Turner their first top 10 hit.
Right and day. Big wheel keep on turning, round and keep on burning, rolling down the river.
But what the world didn't see at the time was the pain and the darkness of that marriage. Ike Turner was abusive. She would not speak often of that abuse, but when she did, it was profound. This is what she told ABC News in 1982.
My life with Ike was one that a lot of maybe people are familiar with, husbands that practice brutality.
She was asked at the time why she stayed so long.
I felt responsible. I felt that I couldn't leave because too many things would be destroyed.
The documentary Tina on HBO just 2 years ago.
I had an abusive life. There's no other way to tell the story.
Telling the story of how she got out of that marriage, famously leaving with nothing, 36 cents in her pocket, and as she would say, a gas charge card.
So I said, I'll just take my name. Ike fought a little bit because he knew what I would do with it. And it was through court that I got it, Tina.
There's something on my mind.
But she would fight to keep the name. Tina Turner, she said, was hers. With young sons, she struggled to redefine her career as a solo black female rock star. And then came the solo album, Private Dancer. On it, her 1984 smash hit, What's Love Got to Do with It? She was 45, and she had done it on her own. The New York Times calling the album at the time a landmark in the career of the 45-year-old singer. What's Love Got to Do with It won multiple Grammys, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. She became a global sensation. There would be many albums to follow, including Foreign Affair, On It, the best.
You're simply the best.
There was the big screen, too.
We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home.
And at nearly 50 years old, one of her dreams, to fill a stadium like the Rolling Stones, would come true. Nearly 200,000 fans would show up in Rio, breaking a record for the largest audience for a solo artist.
You can't imagine what it's like for me to finally stand there and draw all of those people. It's a feeling of like I did it. And it's really genuine. It's almost like magic because you're standing there and they're really giving you the love. Are you ready?
She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Ike Turner, and later inducted on her own. And Tina would find love, too. She met her husband, German record executive Erwin Bach, and they were together more than 35 years. In the end, she lived a quieter life in Switzerland with her husband and with a home and gardens she had always dreamed of. And in 2019, a rare appearance in New York City for the debut of the Broadway show, Tina. And it was there she said this.
This musical is my life, but it's like poison that turned to medicine.
Tina Turner was a survivor who defied boundaries and who redefined herself, tonight being remembered by her peers and by her fans as simply the best.
Our thanks to David for that. And now let's bring in ABC News contributor, Mr. Mike Muse. And Mike, you know, we've just heard so much from Tina in her own words and how she said she wanted to be remembered as the queen of rock and roll. I don't think there's any question that will come into life. How do you think she embodied that moniker?
She embodied it in multiple ways. When you think about rock and roll, you think freedom, right? That's what I think about. I think about, like, the amazing guitar riffs, right? I think about the way they use their body to be in sync with the music, the way they use of the stage, the way rock and roll is dressed, right? That's what I think about freedom. Those are all the things that Tina Turner was, right? She was this incredible musician, this incredible voice who used every part of her body, literally with her infamous legs and the strut and the wiggle in her performance of it, the way that she used her hair, right? The way that she used her face. Like, she really, like, gave her whole body to it, but there was a sense of freedom of hers. But then she embodies it by the music, because as you all know too well, she's from Nutbush, Tennessee, right? That is like part of that delta of the Mississippi. That is the origin of rock and roll music, which is blues, which comes out of black music, which is a fusion of gospel. And so her constitution unto itself, just by being who she is rock and roll. So it's always in her DNA. So that's how she showed up on the stage. Her herself, she is rock and roll. I think there's a powerful scene with Love, What Love Got to Do with It, played by Angela Bassett. And the scene that stands out to me is when they were in the courtroom. And when she tells the judge, I can have it all. Only thing I want is my name, right? And I thought for me that was so powerful of who she is. Now that we have terminology for it these days, that was really her owning her agency. She wanted to take back her agency, her identity, her intellectual property, and start fresh. That is really where that sense of freedom really began to come from, is her wanting it on her own terms, and that she did.
She became certainly a huge influence on a number of rockers, Mick Jagger among them. And he wrote this tribute today saying she was truly an enormously talented performer and singer. She was inspiring, warm, funny, and generous. She helped me so much when I was young, and I will never forget her. How do you feel that her influence really helped to shape the next generation of stars?
I can't help but think about Beyonce in terms of like passing the torch and the way that was embodied. You saw that when Beyonce did a tribute for the Kennedy's Honors in 2005, but then you saw that again in 2000, I believe in 8 or 10, at the Grammys when they performed together Proud Mary. You see it with these big anthems like from Katy Perry, right? You see it in these other big anthems like from Lady Gaga, right? Those are the blueprint that Tina Turner set out to do, that you can be strong, you can be feminine, you can talk about love. You can also talk about pain. You can be aggressive and powerful, but you can also be soft. And to get that right is so hard, but she let women know you can do it all, and here's how to do it. You think about Mad Max, you know, she can do it.
And just lastly, on a personal note, how did you respond? I mean, we knew that she was ailing, that she had some illness in recent years, but when you heard the news, it felt like it hit a little differently, you know, when it's like, wow, Tina Turner.
It did. I've actually, there's a song that kind of gets me, which is Simply the Best, right? That's always
better
been
than all the rest.
I've actually played that song just to pick me up in difficult times and days. And so I haven't heard that song in full. And so I think when I hear that song tonight, I am going to play it on my way home tonight. I am going to play that song. And I think that's when it's going to hit me. But I want to make sure that we celebrate her because her life is meant to be celebrated. It's sad, but her life is meant to be celebrated because when we say we lost a great one, we have literally lost a great one who was simply the best. How do you top that?
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Mike Muse, we thank you so much.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it. We turn now to the 2024 presidential race, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has made his entry into the campaign official, announcing his run in an audio-only discussion with Elon Musk on Twitter that wasn't as smooth as he'd hoped. DeSantis has been leaning heavily into culture war issues, and he's currently the leading contender against GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. But can he actually take on the former president? ABC's chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl reports in tonight from Miami.
Ron DeSantis planned to make his big announcement in an audio-only discussion with Elon Musk on Twitter. But from the start, it was plagued with technical difficulties. His campaign making the announcement instead with this video.
I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
The 44-year-old DeSantis has been acting like a presidential candidate for months, especially after he won re-election as Florida's governor in a 19-point landslide.
We made promises to the people of Florida, and we have delivered on those promises.
DeSantis has used his position as governor to push hot-button culture war issues to appeal to the conservatives who dominate the Republican primaries, including banning classroom discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity all the way through 12th grade, signing a ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy, and restricting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at Florida's public universities. DeSantis has had some stumbles along the way. He was roundly criticized by other Republicans when he called Russia's invasion of Ukraine a, quote, territorial dispute. And in recent weeks, he was unable to answer the basic question, why are you trailing Donald Trump?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
There's only one person.
For months, Trump has relentlessly attacked him, spending millions of dollars on TV ads. They were once the closest of allies, Trump helping DeSantis get elected governor in 2018.
He's going to be a great governor. Ron, come on up.
Back then, DeSantis ran as a clone of Trump.
Make America great again.
And today, one of his rivals, former Ambassador Nikki Haley, said DeSantis is still trying to be Donald Trump.
All of it's copying Trump. He needs to be his own person. He needs to get out there and say what he believes, what he thinks. If he's just going to be an echo to Trump, people will just vote for Trump.
Jonathan Karl joins us now from Miami. John, DeSantis intended to announce his campaign on Twitter, but the rollout really isn't going quite as he planned. How has it been playing out?
I mean, it was a total mess, Lindsay. For 25 minutes, it was technical difficulties. A lot of people gathered in that so-called Twitter space to hear Ron DeSantis have a discussion with Elon Musk and the other Twitter users, but they were nowhere to be found. It kept on having glitches back and forth. After 25 minutes, though, DeSantis finally did appear with Elon Musk in this audio-only discussion forum, and he made his announcement. Although it's a forum that is meant to be for discussion, it sounded a lot more like a stump speech that he was reading. To say the least, not a smooth rollout for a presidential campaign. Not a good start.
And John, what do we hear in the background? Sounds like some protesters?
Yeah. It's right off to the side. Fairly loud group of protesters, anti-DeSantis protesters here outside the hotel where his donors are going to be gathering. That's one of the first. Actually, that is the first stop on his campaign after this Twitter Spaces and appearance on Fox News. He's going to be convening with big money donors at the Four Seasons in Miami tomorrow.
Jonathan Karl for us. Our thanks to you, John.
Thank you.
Next to the quest for healing, accountability, and change, 1 year after that horrific school shooting at Robb Elementary School. Tonight, the faces of the 21 lives lost. 19 fourth-grade students and 2 teachers. For the families they left behind, the passage of time has only helped heal some wounds. Others will last a lifetime. The school is slated to be demolished as the 77 minutes officers waited outside continue to haunt the loved ones of the victims. ABC News has spent the past 365 days in Uvalde committed to documenting the impact of one of the worst school shootings in American history. We'll have coverage throughout our show tonight. John Quinones reports in from the ground for us from Uvalde.
1 year after the massacre at Robb Elementary, 21 butterflies released in the memory of the lives lost that day. 19 students and 2 teachers. Church bells ringing out across Uvalde at 12:49, the moment the gunman was finally taken down in that classroom. A moment of silence at the White House with President Biden and the First Lady before the president addressed the families and the nation affected by gun violence.
It's been hard to make progress, but there will come a point where our voices are so loud, our determination so clear that we can no longer be stopped. We will act.
No justice, no peace.
For the last year, we have stayed in Uvalde, following the families as they pushed for stricter gun laws and demanded accountability.
We want answers, we seek justice, and we demand change.
Tonight, there is frustration as those families wait to see whether anyone will be charged for the bungled police response. Jessica Orona's son Noah miraculously survived a bullet to the back after playing dead on the floor.
We feel that there's no justice for the fallen 21, accountability, and I think that's what hurts the most.
As these families struggled to heal, they forged an unbreakable bond, finding comfort here at the murals of their children. It's the one place, these mothers tell us, that brings them peace and joy.
It's very easy to want to push all the bad things in the world aside, but we forget this will just happen again and again.
And we keep seeing it happen again and again, of course. John joins us now. John, you're also learning more details about the investigation?
Yes, sources are telling us that now the investigation into what went wrong here is focusing on the decisions made during the critical first few moments. The findings are going to be turned over to a grand jury, but the district attorney here, she is not given any timetable as to when that might happen.
John Quinones, who's been reporting from Uvalde for the past year, we thank you so much for the tremendous work you've been doing.
Thank you.
Now to the debt ceiling showdown. Still no deal tonight, and House members are heading home for the Memorial Day weekend. Let's go to ABC senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott, who's on Capitol Hill for us. Rachel, give us the state of play on the talks with this deadline looming just 1 week away.
Well, members of the House are scheduled to leave for recess tomorrow, but today they were told that they need to be ready to return back to Washington, D.C. within 24 hours if an agreement is reached. Top negotiators met at the White House for 4 hours today. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told us that progress was made, but not enough to close the deal. Republicans are not budging on this. They say they will not agree to raise the debt limit until the president agrees to deep spending cuts. But time is running out here. If Congress does not act, the government will not have the money that it needs to pay off the nation's bills as soon as June 1st, and that would put millions of jobs at risk, Lindsay.
All right, still some hurdles and sticking points, it seems there. Rachel Scott for us from Capitol Hill. Thanks so much, Rachel. The 19-year-old who allegedly rammed a U-Haul truck into a White House barricade appeared in federal court today, held without bond. Sai Kandula has been charged with depredation of U.S. property in excess of $1,000 2 days after the incident. He allegedly told law enforcement he wanted to kill the president. The suspect is not being charged for threatening to kill, kidnap, or inflict harm to Biden, but could face up to 10 years in prison. The DOJ revealed that Kandula was not a U.S. citizen, but a legal resident with a green card. Kandula will appear next in court on Tuesday for a detention hearing. He has yet to issue a plea. Chief Justice John Roberts made his first televised public remarks since the pandemic last night, defending the integrity of the Supreme Court in the face of declining public approval and growing pressure after the recent barrage of misconduct allegations. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I want to assure people that I am committed to making certain that we as a court adhere to the highest standards of conduct. We are continuing to look at things we can do to give practical effect to that commitment.
The Chief Justice spoke at the American Law Institute Gala in Washington last night, where he was awarded for his contributions to law. It marked the first time Roberts directly addressed the growing concern over the potential conflicts of interest with SCOTUS justices' personal lives. Roberts did not, however, indicate what additional steps the court could take to shore up public confidence or when it might act. Tonight, the cleanup is underway after a massive typhoon slammed into Guam overnight, packing wind speeds up to 140 miles per hour. The life-threatening storm, which was the equivalent of a Category 4 hurricane, is the strongest to hit the Pacific island in decades and brought flash flooding and 40-foot waves. Most of Guam was without power today as President Biden declared an emergency and ordered federal assistance. There are no reports of deaths or injuries so far. Still much more to get to here on Prime. The astonishing technological breakthrough tonight. You're looking at the first steps for a man who used to be paralyzed, how he was able to walk again. But next, Uvalde 365, our year in the grief-stricken Texas community. For the past year, we followed the teacher who lost 11 students. Will closure ever come?
I feel like I'm just barely halfway through my recovery. I don't know if there's an end to that. One day I hope to be able to heal and find another purpose in my life.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas, ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Those were the church bells ringing out in Uvalde, Texas today, marking the moment the gunman in the attack ran into Robb Elementary and spent more than an hour indiscriminately shooting and killing 19 children and 2 teachers. The police response took the lion's share of the attention, and their inaction led to 3 separate investigations that resulted in resignations. But tonight we want to focus on the recovery of the community after our I Unit spent a year chronicling the journey of the one teacher who survived that massacre. Here's that story.
If you looked at me, you probably thought I went to war. I got the wound to my arm first. This is a skin graft that they did. They went all the way from up here, took that off to put it here. They took some tendons and muscles from here and put it all here. So they put it all together. We're going to BAMC, which is Brooke Army Medical Center. I'm hoping to get rid of this today, the drainage.
In half a mile, take exit 163.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? How's it feeling?
Okay.
You doing okay? Yeah. Yeah? Still got the drain in?
Yeah, that's been like that for like 2 days already, so it's not draining as much or...
Yeah, let's pull this out. Let me just see how the fingers are moving themselves. Maybe the fingers won't wake up for several months from now, but as long as we can passively get them down, then whenever this muscle wakes up, you'll be able to make a full fist.
I'm so happy.
You're doing good. We've come a long way.
Yes.
We're finally in the month to month, and you're pretty much on the road to recovery now for the arm.
Yeah, okay. Before May 24th, I had just started these. I was in the hospital for a whole month, so I only got to save a few of the plants, and some of them just, you know, barely hanging on. There is some lingering guilt. There's people on Facebook, they're like, how come the other 2 teachers died? They were defending their students. Mr. Reyes must have not been, you know, protecting his kids. I have to accept there was nothing I could have done.
New revelations, the teenage shooter firing hundreds of rounds in just the first 4 minutes of entering Robb Elementary.
The gunman in a classroom for 77 minutes, killing 19 children and 2 teachers.
I just heard a loud sound. That's when he shot me. I just remember just falling to the ground, and then he came up to the front and shot my kids after that.
No entry till Chief of Police gives you permission there.
Just waited for them and waited for them and waited for somebody. When they walked in, I just closed my eyes really tight and just, you know, pray for the best. One of the Border Patrol says, if you can get up, get up. I said, I can't get up. I could hear another officer say, there's kids under here. And I just figured that they were all dead. At that time, I thought, I'm not gonna make it. You know, one of the nurses says, we're gonna fly you out to BAMC. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it because BAMC's like the best hospital for injured soldiers and stuff.
Robb Elementary will soon be demolished, and today its students started at new schools.
Being a teacher was my life. It's just been different this year because I'm not in the classroom. The best part was getting to know them. At first, they're shy. They don't know what to say. You start creating that bond. This morning, getting the messages, it just overwhelmed me, and of course, I cried. If any of my family, friends wear maroon when we start school, maybe you could send me pictures of y'all. I have people in South Florida, the Rio Grande Valley, and this is a whole campus. Wow. They took a whole campus picture. Maybe when I get to go visit my students at the cemetery, I can tell them all about it. Okay, so y'all ready to go? We're going to the Say Their Names Festival in honor of the 21 victims. After being home for so long, you can try to go out into the community. Just keep on going straight. It'll take you right in front. And people recognize you, and they want to give you a hug. They want to talk to you, pray for you, and they bring everything back to you. Okay.
No me puedes abrazar con ese.
Por poquito.
I don't know what to say. When you got shot?
The day at the school.
That's not good.
Yeah. It's like, no matter where I go, and then they all come up to me, and I'm like, you know, I'm here to have a good time like everybody else. Sí, soy el maestro.
Wow.
He became famous in the worst kind of way.
Yeah, you did.
I would trade it for anything in the world. Before, it was just a little movement like this, and now I can flex it a little bit more this way. I only ask and pray for that I get to grip. That's it. I feel like I'm just barely like halfway through my recovery. I don't know if there's an end to that. One day I hope to be able to heal and find another purpose in my life. Mom's been around a lot.
There's a white one behind you. Give me that.
I try not to take away her time, and I try to be more independent.
Ah, I forgot to put this back.
Okay, I'll put the pen right there. It just takes a little bit of time. Annabelle, Xavier are together.
He doesn't tell me much, but
Jackie's right beside you.
I believe, you know, he's going through it, but tries to keep it from Mama.
I was in the hospital the whole time that they had all the funerals. I've come for the holidays, you know, Dia de los Muertos, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and now Christmas. You never think about losing a student. To lose 11 at one single time, and then to lose your coworkers, it's a lot at once. I don't want them to be forgotten. Okay, can you? Anya, I'll do it. I have not done as much activism as I would like to. I felt that I was healthy enough to be able to do this. I am making a speech today. Very nervous about it. Here we come down the street. Hey, hey, we're the monkeys.
Your speaker today, and if you feel comfortable, would you stand up so we can thank you?
Yes.
Yes, I've been watching you. I love you.
Thank you.
We love you, man. We love you, my man.
Proud of you.
We love you,
man. We ask you to bless this young man.
Being around a big crowd like that is challenging for me.
I think I'm gonna start hashtagging more gardens, less guns. More
I had to dig deep to send out my message, not only for Texas, but for the whole world.
Hello, everyone. Next, I want to introduce Mr. Reyes.
It is an honor and privilege to be here today. It has been 9 months and 4 days since the massacre occurred at Robb Elementary. And to most of us, it feels as if it happened yesterday. We lost 21 beautiful souls that day. Stand with me and be the voice for those whose voices were robbed from them. Help me be the voice of change. Thank you.
Here's my fertilizer and some eggs and potato peels. Whatever survived the winter, I start propagating them. It was just 1 year after the tragedy. It's gonna be a much longer road to recovery. See, this one actually survived. It's got that little one right there. There's still hope in the plants. I guess I can compare that to myself, right? There was hope. There's hope.
Clinging to hope like so many. Our thanks to our investigations unit for bringing us that incredibly moving report. I want to bring back an ABC correspondent, John Quinones. John, you've been following many of the families affected by the shooting for the past year now. We see Reyes' activism even as he struggles still with his grief. Is that reflective of many in the community?
Absolutely. And you know, his physical wounds have prevented Arnie Reyes from getting as politically active as he'd like to be. As for the other families, they're going full throttle, including 10-year-old Caitlin Gonzalez, who's in Washington and Austin. Some of these families tell us they haven't even had time to properly grieve because they're so active.
I couldn't imagine. All right, John Quinones, thank you so much for your reporting. Still much more to get to tonight. Coming up, the move by Target ahead of Pride Month, sparking a major controversy tonight. But next, we continue to remember the life of the legendary Tina Turner. We go by the numbers for her storied career.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexualized child model.
Exploitation.
What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women.
I let myself be vulnerable, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about what happened. I thought my one no should have been enough, you know.
When someone like Brooke Shields talks about it, it makes a difference.
I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on?
Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial breaks.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good. Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot without ever having a chance to share my side of the story.
Aaron Carter's life story in one sentence.
The drugs, the drinking, everything goes back to tragedy.
Just know I've turned it around, and I've got a lot to say. There's always two sides to every story,
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone.
That voice, the style, the moves. Tina Turner was a rock icon whose hits are still an anthem for many. Here's another look tonight at the queen of rock and roll by the numbers. Turner was just 18 years old when she first picked up the mic with Ike Turner's Kings of Rhythm. The duo went on to become a sensation on stage, but infamously tragic off stage. At 44 years old, Turner launched a solo comeback. Her 1984 album featuring the song What's Love Got to Do With It hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. She was the oldest female solo artist to top the list. That album went on to sell 5 million copies and ignite a touring career that established Turner as a worldwide phenomenon. Her 1988 Rio de Janeiro show drew 180,000 people, breaking the Guinness World Record for the largest paying audience for a solo performer. And after her 2000 tour sold more than $100 million worth of tickets, Guinness crowned her again for selling more concert tickets than any other performer in history. Turner sold more than 150 million records worldwide, making her one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. She won 8 Grammy Awards and was honored with another 3 Grammy Hall of Fame and Lifetime Achievement Awards. She was the first black artist and first woman to ever be on the cover of Rolling Stone, and she's twice been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, once with Ike Turner and once as a solo artist. The Queen indeed, remembering Tina Turner tonight, who passed away at 83. And we still have much more ahead on Prime tonight. Here's the story of a house named Brady. You can now own the iconic Brady Bunch house, but it'll cost you a pretty penny. And our final cultural conversation celebrating Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Heritage Month. Tonight, we meet 2 South Asian dancers, why they say dance is so important to them, and what they've learned from each other.
I was of the generation that you go to college, dance was a hobby. I actually didn't know you could do it as a profession. I never saw myself reflected, so I didn't think it was a thing.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different.
Early mornings on ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine,
Close to the front line.
from the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
We're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot without ever having a chance to share my side of the story.
Aaron Carter's life story in one sentence.
The drugs, the drinking, everything goes back to tragedy.
But just know I've turned it around, and I've got a lot to say. There's always two sides to every story.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're gonna love it.
Friday night,
Congratulations on your Oscar.
a joyous and emotional celebration.
What was it like to hand that Oscar to your mom?
Asians in Hollywood have a lot to celebrate this year, for damn sure.
Friday night on ABC.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
An assault rifle brought onto a preschool's property. One of the most famous TV sitcom homes of all time goes on sale. And an incredible feat for artificial intelligence that may have forever changed the life of a paralyzed man. These stories and more in tonight's rundown.
In Fairfax County, Virginia, police say they've recovered 2 guns after a Florida man was arrested for allegedly trespassing at a preschool. 32-year-old Eric Sandow allegedly told police he was making his way to the CIA. He was detained and a search warrant of his car produced an AK-47 and a handgun. He's now been charged with felony possession of a firearm on school property.
This is what this is about.
The family of a Georgia woman who died last year after falling out of a moving police vehicle is now suing the officers involved. 28-year-old Brianna Greer, a mom of 2, was arrested after her mother called 911 to report her daughter was experiencing a mental health crisis. Body camera footage shows Greer struggling with police as they put her in the back seat of the car, a report finding the door was never properly closed.
And when they were on the road, she fell out of that car. And since she was handcuffed, there was no breaking the fall.
The lawsuit claims those deputies caused her death. The Hancock County Sheriff's Office did not respond to a request from ABC News for comment.
You're looking at a medical first. A 40-year-old paralyzed man now walking with the help of AI. Doctors implanted into a man from the Netherlands with what they call a digital bridge. The man's thoughts reach a device implanted in his brain, and with the help of a mathematical AI algorithm, that desire to move travels to another device implanted in his spinal cord, creating an electrical signal, producing this miracle. He hasn't had the ability to walk since a bike accident over 10 years ago. The man says he's taking delight in the simple pleasures, like standing at the bar with his friends and sharing a beer.
Rapper Fetty Wap was sentenced today to 6 years behind bars for his role in a drug trafficking conspiracy. Federal prosecutors were seeking the minimum of 5 years in prison. The Paterson, New Jersey native pled guilty in August to conspiracy to distribute and possess cocaine. He and several others were accused of driving to Long Island and buying cocaine by the kilogram and then reselling it in both New Jersey and New York in 2020. Just weeks before the start of Pride Month, Target is removing some of its LGBTQ merchandise. In a statement, the retailer said it has received threats and they're worried about the safety of their workers. Target declined to say which items it was removing. They moved its Pride merchandise from the front of the stores to the back in some of its southern stores after confrontations and backlash from shoppers in those areas.
And here's a story of a home named Brady. Now you have a chance to own a piece of TV history. The home used in the exterior shots on the Brady Bunch is up for sale. The 5-bedroom home was purchased by HGTV in 2018 and renovated to match the retro look of the iconic show. The asking price, $5.5 million.
Now to our final installment in our Culture Conversation series celebrating Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And tonight we take a look at South Asian dance, which dates back thousands of years. More recently, you've seen various styles, including Bhangra, Bollywood, and classical in American movies, TV shows, and on entertainment's biggest stages. So ABC's Zareen Shah spoke with 2 South Asian dancers about their triumphs and challenges, including sometimes being left off the stage entirely, and what they've learned from each other.
In a way, dance chooses you, and there's no way to resist it. And so I was very lucky that my parents allowed me to go through with that passion.
I was of the generation that you go to college. Dance was a hobby. I didn't know you could do it as a profession. I never saw myself reflected, so I didn't think it was a thing.
Sink into our seats right as they dimmed out all the lights.
From the opening scene of the Oscar-winning film La La Land,
it called me to be on that screen.
You may recognize Reshma Gujjar. With decades of experience, she has toured extensively with top artists like Madonna and Ricky Martin. Or this scene from Netflix's Never Have I Ever. That's choreographer and CEO Joya Kazi, who started her own entertainment company at 16, specializing in classical Indian dance.
I first was exposed to Indian classical dance through a Michael Jackson music video.
Okay, we have this in common, the Michael Jackson thing.
A black or white music video, which was phenomenal. So it was the first time I saw an Odissi dancer.
So you saw the woman in the Michael Jackson video. At some point, you also saw Reshma. What did it feel like to meet her?
It felt like home, and it felt like having a big sister in the industry. To have someone who was already well established in the industry, and to be able to take this back to our hometown where we didn't have those resources growing up, it was, I mean, it was surreal.
They pursued their passions, but in different ways.
I wasn't seen as a dancer because I hadn't done ballet. As ignorant as it is, it's just that there isn't enough exposure. And I went on to study Kathak, Odissi, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Manipuri, and I really focused on Indian classical styles because I wanted to gain that vocabulary for when I do choreograph. I very much decided to elevate Indian dance, show that it's just as strong, technically rich, and can also work commercially in the West without it just being a gimmick, without it being a moment, without it being a cheesy thing.
My challenge was that, like, I just happened to be in a brown South Asian body doing Western things. And that was the rarity, because most girls would grow up training, doing Bharatanatyam, doing the classical training.
As Indian Americans growing up here, we always have a bit of that imbalance of how do I find myself to be American enough? How do I get myself to be Indian enough? Because you're being raised with Indian values in an American lifestyle.
It's true. When I started working, I kind of had to lean into my South Asianness in order to be seen. What I started to do was I created like this fusion between Bollywood, Bharatanatyam, and hip hop. but let me show them a little in between, a little middle ground. So it's a mix between Indian and American, right? And so I started doing that in my freestyles. And they liked it. The people liked that. And that's how they embraced me.
RRR. Even with progress, there are still hurdles. This year, Natu Natu from RRR made Oscars history, the first song from an Indian language film to win Best Original Song. But with over 20 dancers performing on the Oscar stage, none were South Asian.
When I decided not to do it, because I've done the Oscars before, I was like, let me open this door for another South Asian. I can't be the only South Asian.
And you had no idea there'd be zero then left on stage.
I had no idea.
The performance receiving criticism for its lack of South Asian representation. Oscars producer Raj Kapoor spoke about the casting process in a piece published in the Academy's in-house magazine, saying in part, "We wanted to be open to any ethnicity to help honor the global impact of the song."
This is why that performance and the outrage was such a great thing, because I think it is causing a bigger and creating a bigger conversation. This is reflecting like what the American minorities want to see. We want to be seen as like the fabric of American society, just one normalized, this brown body normalized in America. And where are we seen? If we're not seen telling our own stories, and then we're not seen telling the stories that you don't want us to tell because we're not American when we are, then where do we fit in? That's not fair.
What did that feel like, that your community wasn't on there?
It's really disheartening because it's something where these opportunities only come along once every decade, 15 years, 20 years. We've spent all these years building this table that we can't even sit at. There's plenty of talented South Asians in our industry.
When you talk about like what you're doing to get on the stage, do you guys see the parallels? This journey, the South Asian journey, to getting and staying on the stage.
You're simultaneously trying to fit into a box, but you also don't fit in that box. And you have to find where you do fit. And it's always going to be a struggle. And you just have to know that just because the spotlight wasn't programmed specifically for you in that spot doesn't mean that it can't move. And that's what we're doing now. We're moving the needle. We're shifting where the spotlight stands now.
Well, having support of your own people and another South Asian woman is very, unfortunately, unique. And I count on my hand how many women, and I want to change that. I don't like that it feels that way, but that's one of the other reasons why this relationship is also very special, is because it's a rare thing.
During many challenges, the two turning to each other for inspiration, one step at a time.
One thing that I love so much about us is that we're the opposite sides of the same coin. We can be South Asian and go about representing South Asian heritage in two very different ways, but still be very present.
I'm digging this hole up to get out into the light. We just have a shovel trying to make it. Joya is right behind me. And she has a free hand because she's not holding a shovel. She's holding a flashlight. And that light's on me. She's the one who tells me who I am. I'm seen. I feel seen because she sees me.
We certainly see them. Our thanks to Zoreen for that. And be sure to tune in tonight for our Culture Conversation special honoring AANHPI month at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Pacific, here on ABC News Live and streaming later on Hulu. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Be sure to stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Have a good night. Coming up in the next hour, Uvalde 365, our team's meaningful work on the ground for 365 days since that horrific day, the significance of these green shoes. And we continue to pay tribute to the life of trailblazer Tina Turner, the lasting impact this barrier-breaking musical force leaves behind. Stay with us.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. right now in America with so much at stake. Thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial breaks.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot without ever having a chance to share my side of the story.
Aaron Carter's life story in one sentence.
The drugs, the drinking, everything goes back to tragedy.
I just know I've turned it around, and I've got a lot to say. There's always two sides to every story.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Good evening, everyone. This is ABC News Live Prime. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We've got a lot of news to cover tonight, including the incredible loss of music icon Tina Turner, her life, music, and the legacy she left behind. Plus, the newest official entrant to the 2024 race after Ron DeSantis launched his campaign in a rather unconventional way, and igniting hope from tragedy, how one family in Uvalde helped change the conversation around the massacre with a single pair of green sneakers. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and much more for us tonight. But we do begin with the passing of Tina Turner, the queen of rock and roll. Turner's publicist announced her death this afternoon, saying, "Today we say goodbye to a dear friend who leaves us all her greatest work, her music." Known for her magical voice and hits like What's Love Got to Do With It, Rolling Stone once named her one of the greatest singers of all time. Turner escaped an abusive marriage and remade herself as a solo artist, a figure of power and strength and a trailblazer for so many. Morgan Norwood leads us off tonight with more on her life and legacy.
For her millions of fans, love had everything to do with it. And there was so much to love. They loved the trademark mane of hair. They loved the strut. And most of all, they loved the voice that rocked the rafters. Tina Turner was born Anna Mae Bullock in rural Nutbush, Tennessee. In 1960, she went to work for a band leader named Ike Turner. He gave her a new name for the new job. A stormy marriage followed, during which Tina accused Ike of frequent physical abuse. They broke up after 16 years, and she was off on a roller coaster solo career. She knew those peaks and valleys well, the dry spells and the comebacks.
I'm your private dancer, a dancer
Turner converted to Buddhism and credited her new religion with helping her through the rough patches. She took on celebrated film roles as the Acid Queen in Tommy and the apocalyptic Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
You think I don't know the law? Love you.
A Kennedy Honors recipient and a 12-time Grammy Award winner who was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, once with Ike, and then 30 years later in 2021 as a solo artist.
I'm very happy to have achieved this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Tina Turner's gritty roots were never far off in that raspy, sultry, I've seen it all and I take back nothing voice.
You're simply the best.
That she was.
Our thanks to Morgan Norwood for that. As we continue to remember Tina Turner, we'd like to bring in someone who knew her personally, Ken Ehrlich, who served as executive producer of the Grammys for 35 years, was also a friend and collaborator. Ken, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, to us, she was an icon, but you knew her in a deeper way. What's your reaction to the news today?
It's very sad. Unfortunately, we see more and more of these things. The longer we live, the
Right.
more we find ourselves mourning those who are gone, who had such a great impact, not just for what their accomplishments were, but who they were as people. And Tina was certainly, in both of those departments, very special and unique.
You first met when you were producing the live concert TV series Soundstage. Describe that moment for us.
She was not at her peak at that. It was just before What's Love Got to Do with It and Private Dancer hit. So she had had her moments of glory in the 70s and maybe even the late 60s, but this was not the best time for her. And she was great to work with. She was always great to work with, but it was as though she was waiting for the next thing to happen. And then shortly after that, it did happen. And then the next time we met was on the Grammy stage, and it was pretty amazing. So it's we all love it when these comeback stories have a ring of truth to them. And with Tina, it absolutely had more than a ring of truth. It was the truth.
You were responsible for the performance when she performed with Beyonce at the Grammys in 2008. You produced that duet. You could really see the influence there. What was it like to work with both of them on that?
You know what? It was such a labor of love. And it was really, they both were in love with each other right from the get-go. But Beyonce, as soon as I asked her to do this, she started working on this piece, and she basically put together. And if you can catch it on YouTube, if you look at the setup for it, where Beyonce does this 3.5-minute homage to the great African American singers of all time, and pays it off with Tina. And then Tina came out and did a medley of a couple of hits. And then Beyonce came out and joined her for Proud Mary. It's like, it was one of these things that was so meant to be. And the love between the two of them comes across so, it's rare. But when it happens like that, you never forget it.
How will you remember Tina Turner?
God, well, an amazing artist. There's no question about her talent and what she gave. But again, she was a remarkable person. And those two things don't always go together, but in her case, they certainly did.
Ken Ehrlich, we thank you so much for your insight. Really appreciate you giving us your time today.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you, Lindsay.
Today marks 1 year since the shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. At this hour, members of the community are gathering for a vigil to remember the 21 lives lost, 19 fourth-grade students and 2 teachers. For the families they left behind, the passage of time has helped heal some wounds. Others will last a lifetime. Many are focusing their grief to call for action to stop gun violence. ABC's John Quinones has reported from Uvalde since the attack, and he's there for us again tonight.
1 year after the massacre at Robb Elementary, 21 butterflies released in the memory of the lives lost that day. 19 students and 2 teachers. Church bells ringing out across Uvalde at 12:49, the moment the gunman was finally taken down in that classroom. A moment of silence at the White House with President Biden and the First Lady before the president addressed the families and the nation affected by gun violence.
It's been hard to make progress, but there will come a point where our voices are so loud, our determination so clear that we can no longer be stopped. We will act.
No justice, no peace!
For the last year, we have stayed in Uvalde, following the families as they pushed for stricter gun laws and demanded accountability.
We want answers, we seek justice, and we demand change.
Tonight, there is frustration as those families wait to see whether anyone will be charged for the bungled police response. Jessica Orona's son Noah miraculously survived a bullet to the back after playing dead on the floor.
We feel that there's no justice for the fallen 21, accountability, and I think that's what hurts the most.
As these families struggled to heal, they forged an unbreakable bond, finding comfort here at the murals of their children. It's the one place, these mothers tell us, that brings them peace and joy.
It's very easy to want to push all the bad things in the world aside, but if we forget, this will just happen again and again.
And we keep seeing it happen again and again, of course. John joins us now. John, you're also learning more details about the investigation?
Yes, sources are telling us that now the investigation into what went wrong here is focusing on the decisions made during the critical first few moments. The findings are going to be turned over to a grand jury, but the district attorney here, she has not given any timetable as to when that might happen.
John Quinones, who's been reporting from Uvalde for the past year, we thank you so much for the tremendous work you've been doing.
Thank you.
Now to the debt ceiling showdown. Negotiators for House Speaker Kevin McCarthy headed to the White House today to try and make a deal with that June 1st deadline just over a week away. But the two sides are reportedly still far apart, and lawmakers are now heading home for the Memorial Day weekend, prepared to head back to D.C. if a deal is reached. If no agreement is made by June 1st, the U.S. faces the prospect of a catastrophic default with wide-reaching impacts on the economy and jobs. We turn now to the 2024 presidential race. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis has made his entry into the campaign official, announcing his run in an audio-only discussion with Elon Musk on Twitter. DeSantis has been leaning heavily into culture war issues, and he's currently the leading contender against GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. But can he actually take on the former president? ABC's chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl reports in tonight from Miami.
Ron DeSantis planned to make his big announcement in an audio-only discussion with Elon Musk on Twitter. But from the start, it was plagued with technical difficulties. His campaign making the announcement instead with this video.
I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
The 44-year-old DeSantis has been acting like a presidential candidate for months, especially after he won re-election as Florida's governor in a 19-point landslide.
We made promises to the people of Florida, and we have delivered on those promises.
DeSantis has used his position as governor to push hot-button culture war issues to appeal to the conservatives who dominate the Republican primaries, including banning classroom discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity all the way through 12th grade, signing a ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy, and restricting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at Florida's public universities. DeSantis has had some stumbles along the way. He was roundly criticized by other Republicans when he called Russia's invasion of Ukraine a, quote, territorial dispute. And in recent weeks, he was unable to answer the basic question, why are you trailing Donald Trump?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
There's only one person. For months, Trump has relentlessly attacked him, spending millions of dollars on TV ads. They were once the closest of allies, Trump helping DeSantis get elected governor in 2018.
He's going to be a great governor. Ron, come on up.
Back then, DeSantis ran as a clone of Trump.
Make America great again.
And today, one of his rivals, former Ambassador Nikki Haley, said DeSantis is still trying to be Donald Trump.
All of it's copying Trump. He needs to be his own person. He needs to get out there and say what he believes, what he thinks. If he's just going to be an echo to Trump, people will just vote for Trump.
Our thanks to Jonathan Karl. Still much more to get to tonight. They may have different political views, but they all agree on one thing. A new 6-week abortion ban will be bad for women in South Carolina. Eva Pilgrim's conversation with 5 female lawmakers who crossed party lines to try to stop a new abortion ban. And flight ban, why France is ending short-haul flights, and what they want residents to do instead. Stay with us.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
I'm Marcus Moore in Larissa, Greece, the scene of a deadly train crash. Wherever the story is, we will take you there. You're streaming with ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. We're tracking several headlines around the world, including that massive typhoon that slammed into Guam overnight, packing wind speeds of up to 140 miles per hour, the equivalent of a Category 4 hurricane. The life-threatening storm is the strongest to hit the Pacific island in decades and brought flash flooding and 40-foot waves. Most of Guam was without power today as President Biden declared an emergency, ordering federal assistance to support the recovery response. The U.S. Navy is diverting a carrier group to help in those recovery efforts. An assault inside of Russia has reportedly ended as anti-Putin Russian nationalists seized control of around 16 square miles of Russian land next to the Ukrainian border for at least 24 hours. The far-right paramilitary group caught the Russian military off guard when they stormed over the border with armored vehicles. Video circulating online reportedly shows American armored vehicles used in the attack. U.S. officials investigating say they haven't reached any conclusions. France has officially enacted a law that bans short domestic flights in the country in an increased effort to battle climate change. The measure was first passed back in 2021 and is part of President Emmanuel Macron's plan to cut France's greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2030 when compared with 1990 levels. The ban applies only to cities where there's a direct train connection with service options running several times a day. About half of South Carolina residents believe abortion should be legal in all or most cases, according to a poll last year by the Public Religion Research Institute. But anti-abortion rights politicians there have argued that the state has become a destination for abortions in the South. Our Eva Pilgrim spoke with the only 5 women in the South Carolina Senate who put up a tough fight at defending abortion access there before a ban was passed just yesterday.
It took 4 tries, abortion bill after bill failing. But last night, in a special session, South Carolina's Republican-led Senate passed a bill banning abortions after 6 weeks, before most women know they're pregnant.
This is being called on the final week because they can limit the number of amendments, limit the minutes of debate, all of those kind of things.
They could, if they're bold enough, shove this down our throats.
And they're bold enough.
I know. Vicious.
South Carolina, the latest state to pass a near total abortion ban. The move makes Virginia the only remaining state in the Southeast that hasn't passed laws restricting abortion access since Roe v. Wade was overturned last year. For weeks, an unlikely group of allies, the only 5 women in South Carolina's 46-seat Senate, prevented an abortion ban from passing.
How many of you are Democrats? How many are Republicans? How many are independents?
Pro-life?
I think we're
all
pro-life.
pro-life. Yes. We're just not pro-birth.
Forced birth.
There you go. There's a difference. We all believe in life. We believe in life for the woman as well as a well life for the child.
How many of you are mothers?
All of us.
Religious? Go to church?
Yes.
We sat down with the women who call themselves sister senators just hours before the vote. 3 times in just 8 months, these women succeeded preventing an abortion ban.
Well, I think I actually dubbed us sister senators years ago. I didn't? I did. That's why. Yes. We act like sisters. We interact like sisters. We are sisters.
You know, we don't necessarily agree on everything in this issue, but we know that what the men in the state of South Carolina, the men across the country are trying to do is wrong, and we want to make it better for women and girls.
What do you think it's ultimately really about?
Control.
Do any of you consider yourselves women's rights advocates, or did you before this?
No. No.
Feminist? Would any of you consider yourself a feminist?
No.
But this time, the sister senators' filibuster failed to block South Carolina's 6-week ban, which includes requirements that pregnant women have 2 in-person doctor's appointments before receiving an abortion.
Most people don't even know they're pregnant in 6 weeks. And saying that you've got to know that you're pregnant in 6 weeks, you got to go to the doctor 2 times in that 6 weeks. I mean, the ban is ridiculous. But people, if they have an opportunity to think about it, they're going to do the right thing. It's not our place to make that decision for them.
Their support of abortion access hasn't gone over well with everyone. I mean, people will question your faith, right? I mean,
every day. And they threaten us. They threaten us on our election. And what really makes me mad about that is they don't threaten the men.
Being targeted, it's already happened to me. It's already someone has come out running against me right now, primary, and there are other people definitely using this legislation.
Sisters, their fight against the abortion bans forever bonding them, pushing them into the spotlight, and they hope pushing other women to act.
Doing the right thing is staying true to yourself. You can't ever lose.
We are 51%. Women are 51% of the South Carolina population, only 14% of the General Assembly, and even less than that in the Senate. But what I believe is the women are going to show up at the ballot box, and they will vote single issue. They're going to vote single issue against the men on abortion.
Sister Senators, our thanks to Eva for bringing us that. And still to come, the pair of green shoes in Uvalde that carry so much more significance for a family trying to cope with incredible loss.
I hope you like them.
I love them. I'm gonna cry.
A potent symbol of a young life lost to unspeakable violence.
I know that they love Maite and they love those shoes.
So much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
We want to end tonight by returning back to Uvalde, Texas, where one family has found hope in the face of tragedy. The green shoes of Maite Rodriguez became a sign of loss following the Uvalde massacre, but it also became a rallying symbol, bringing the nation to her family's cause. Tonight, our team brings us this immersive look at the hope that 10-year-old Maite ignited and how her memory is touching hearts to this day.
Inside the Uvalde home of Ana Rodriguez, photographs and mementos of a life tragically cut short.
Maite was just a normal kid. She was a normal 10-year-old little girl.
I like to paint. My hands are dirty, so let me show you the results.
She liked sports. She was extremely curious.
Encased in glass, a pair of green Converse size 5 that Maite wore to school on May 24th.
She loved her Converse. She loved to wear them. Green was her favorite color. She really loved those shoes.
A few weeks after the tragedy at Robb Elementary, Maite's story in the national spotlight.
Camille and I came here to share my stories from my hometown, Uvalde.
Actor Matthew McConaughey, who was born in Uvalde, taking the podium in the White House press room.
Now, Maite wanted to be a marine biologist. Maite wore green Converse with a heart she had hand-drawn on the right toe because they represented her love of nature. These are the same green Converse on her feet that turned out to be the only clear evidence that could identify her after the shooting. How about that?
I just felt great sadness. That's the reason why he's talking about those green Converse is my daughter. I won't get to see Maite go to college or help her choose her quinceañera dress. She wanted a quinceañera. Be there when her heart is broken for the first time or she falls in love. I won't have any of that. She's forever frozen at 10 years old. It's just like an emotional roller coaster. It's gotten where the days are tolerable, but on my tough days, it's complete loneliness. It's just this dark cloud that's hanging over me, and sometimes it's hard to shake it off.
Like many victims' families in Uvalde, Ana has channeled her grief into activism.
When is enough gonna be enough? Why is a gun more important than a life? My daughter had big dreams.
Seeking new restrictions on assault-style weapons.
Not letting her death be in vain is always what runs across my mind. She did not die for no reason. There has to be a reason. I worked with Converse in making a shoe for Maite. I wanted it to be meaningful, everything on it. I wanted it to be for a reason.
With Maite's memory top of mind.
It has hashtag Maite the marine biologist, because she wanted to be a marine biologist.
Ana set out last fall on a very special journey across her hometown.
And today we're going to go ahead and distribute some of them to a few of my family members.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My family has been my backbone through everything. I hope you like them.
I love them. I'm gonna cry.
A potent symbol of a young life lost to unspeakable violence.
I know that they love Maite and they love those shoes. The little diver has the little symbol of the
Maite Juliana Rodriguez was going to make her mark in this world. She was 10 years old.
Maite has certainly made her mark. Our thanks for that. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com. Have a great night. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of